Bum 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 bum. The Peter Shitshow. Bum 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 bum. Shit. Sorry about that earlier. I forgot to turn my mic on. But Happy New Year's Day 2023. Now, a lot of people are going to be counting down today, but I want to remind people that life doesn't always come with a countdown. I want to talk about my former microeconomics professor because he had a very famous countdown. I took microeconomics my second year in college, and our professor, Dr. Stephen Klepper from Carnegie Mellon University, you can look him up. He would conduct these experiments in the classroom. He would have the whole class trade a fictional commodity, and he would set up scenarios: collusion, price fixing, regulations. And he would demonstrate to us what would happen and if it would work or not, and why we need regulations, what happens when we add the regulations, the side effects of all the regulations, and so on, right? So it was a fictional trading floor, and we would trade for maybe 10, 15 minutes. Now, at the end of the trading simulation, Dr. Klepper would go, I'll give you 5 more seconds to trade, and then he would count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, Dr. Klepper had a very distinct voice. You could hear him counting down from 2 classrooms over. And it always gave me a nice, warm, fuzzy feeling. After I graduated from Carnegie Mellon, I needed to collect a letter of reference one day. And I went back to the campus and I was looking for him. And I looked at his schedule. I thought I'll wait for him right after his class. I stood outside of his classroom and I heard him shout 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it just gave me a nice, warm, fuzzy feeling. It had been 2 years since I had taken the course, and he was still saying it. I was working on my PhD, and I noticed one of my classmates from high school was now taking his class. And I asked my classmate, does Dr. Klepper still say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? And my classmate said, yeah, he still does. Now, one day I was reading a paper on microeconomics written by somebody who had graduated from his class. And I asked the author, hey, did you take microeconomics with Dr. Klepper? And he did. And I asked him, well, do you remember his trading experiments? He said, oh, yeah, he used to love to count down. I didn't even have to ask him. He said, yeah, I remember him. He used to love to count down. And I said, what year did you take that course? He took it in 1986. And here we are in 2010, and he was still saying it because my classmate was taking the course now. He was still saying 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in 2010. And then it dawned on me all the events that had transpired during his career at Carnegie Mellon. So Dr. Klepper, I think he started teaching there in 1981. So I was thinking about Reagan's assassination attempt. I was thinking about the Challenger disaster, the Berlin Wall, Y2K, 9/11, the financial crisis. All along, Dr. Klepper is there to say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just gave me a nice, warm, fuzzy feeling to think of it in that regard. Unfortunately, I was going to check up with him a few years ago, but I learned he passed away. And I learned that he had been teaching just days before he passed away. I can't imagine what it's like to go to class and hear that your professor has passed away over the weekend. I really cannot. But then it dawned on me, nobody was there to count down for him during the last 5 seconds of his life, right? Unless he pulled the plug on his life support or something like that, right? It just goes to show that you're not going to get a 5-second warning before the markets completely implode and you need to buy bismuth, right? Order the bismuth today if you believe in it, right? Order 100 pounds, whatever you can afford, right? Now, I have a big problem with unexpected events. I almost I almost missed my flight while traveling a few years ago. What had happened was I was traveling to uh, Europe, and I had a layover in Detroit. Now I have a favorite sushi restaurant that I like to eat during the layover in Detroit. I got to Detroit Airport, and to my surprise, they were closed for whatever reason. I've never ran into that. And I got lost and confused. I was looking for something to eat, and I wandered around Detroit Airport lost and confused. And to add to the confusion, I accidentally walked out of the security area too, and I had to go back in through security. And I, I wasn't hungry or anything. I really didn't need the sushi at Detroit. It was an unexpected event, and I just got very lost and confused. And unfortunately, life doesn't give you 5-second warnings for stuff like that. And fortunately, I can't remember the exact details, but I made it to Europe. I didn't miss the flight. I remember the flight attendant being upset at how late I was, though. Anyways, don't wait for that 5-second countdown. Do whatever you need to do this year. This is the Peter Shitshow. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Shitshow. Bum 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 bum.